both people have what to benefit and to gain out of a political solution that will end the occupation and the endless war and achieve a reality of equality, freedom, and independence for all. Standing Together started 8 years ago. It's a movement that organizes and mobilizes Jews and Palestinians all across the country in the pursuit of peace, equality, and social justice. This is really the values we're fighting for. The war of 2014 on Gaza was the deadliest war. Lots of Palestinian children died. It was one of the first times that the Israeli cities suffered from rockets thrown at them, before Iron Dome even. And it was a moment where we all faced fear and despair, and above all, a prime minister, same prime minister we have right now, Benjamin Netanyahu, telling us that this is the only possible way. He had a very famous sentence back then saying, "Le'olam nichya al hacherev." We will always live on our sword. And we decided that no, we don't want to accept this reality as if it's written by God or something, as if we are destined to just move from one violent escalation to the other, from one war to the other, between the wars, building more settlements, expanding and deepening the occupation. And we said we need to organize. We need to build a movement of Jews and Palestinians and demand a different reality of peace instead of occupation, of equality instead of incitement and racism, and of social justice, of real prosperity to all the people that live on this land. Since the war started, since October 7th happened, and the terrible massacre of Hamas, we entered the void. After the morning of October 7th, we heard within hours all our ministers and prime minister and parliament members saying things like, "We will flatten Gaza, drop a nuclear bomb on them, no innocent people in Gaza at all the children of Gaza are complicit," terrible genocidal things like this. And we said that no, this is not the answer. We feel the pain. We lost people ourselves. It can't be that what was tried many times before will all of a sudden work. We need to understand that there's a whole generation in Israel that grew up knowing nothing but Netanyahu, nothing but endless cycles of war, nothing but expanding the settlements and sending soldiers to Palestinian cities. And they heard, not even one time in their lives, a real conversation about peace. We need to choose. It's either we're going to a direction of eternal, endless war that will bring our demise, not only the Palestinians' demise, that will bring mutual destruction eventually. And the other option is to turn to a direction of Israeli-Palestinian peace. And it can look like a few different things, but it must be a reality where all people are equal, that all people have a free and independent life, and that all people have the ability to have self-determination. And if it will be a fake kind of solution, it will tell Palestinians, you get autonomy in Gaza and in a few cities in the West Bank, wait 15 years and then we'll see. This is a recipe for not only a failure, but also for a disaster. And eventually, all of us will pay the price. So we need to understand how urgent it is and to bring upon a solution that will achieve those principles of equality, freedom, and independence for all. The only way to release the hostages is by a ceasefire. The only time in this war that a real release of the hostages happened out of the last 6 months is because we came to the last ceasefire agreement with Hamas of 8 days, where 108 hostages, Israeli hostages, were released alive. In the other 6 months of the war, 180 days, 3 hostages were released because of the military campaign alive, while more than 5 that we know of were actually killed by the military campaign. The only way to release the hostages is by a ceasefire agreement. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. There is a growing protest in the streets. People see and say that Netanyahu is actually prolonging the war for his personal benefit. But all of the 64 parliament members from the coalition understand that the minute this war is over, they're out. They're going for elections. They are a minority in the polls right now. So if election would be held right now in Israel, they will for sure lose. But even if there will be election right now and they will go, it is not enough. It is not enough just to replace Netanyahu with guns and have another center-right government that will say no to a compromise, to an Israeli-Palestinian peace agreement. The real thing that need to be replaced are the way of the government, are the path of occupation and wars. It is our job right now as a progressive camp in Israel, and there are a lot of progressive liberal people in Israel. It is our job to demand not only the replacement of Netanyahu, but actually the replacement of his way. We need to demand an end to the occupation, an end to this reality where Palestinians and Jewish people are paying a price for not having equal and free and independent life for all the people here.